Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, our today's topic is uh, risk and managerial options in capital budgeting. Uh, Basically, we are today interested uh, to look the riskiness of the projects while considering different investment proposals, and that how we can evaluate the riskiness of each project. Basically, if we say that the riskiness of an investment project as variability of cash flows from those that are expected. So, product is evaluated by considering the riskiness of that particular product. So, let's see, we have a state of economy, suppose state of economy where we expect the future cash flows in different economic states, like we have deep recession, we have mild recession, we have normal condition, normal situation in the economy, we have mild boom, and we have major boom in the economy. So these are the different conditions, and against these we set some kind of probabilities, and the variation in the expected cash flows is computed through we compute the expected cash flows, as well as we compute the variance and standard deviation of that product. Variance, then standard deviation, and in last we will see the coefficient of variation, and coefficient of variation is equal to standard deviation divided by mean value or expected cash flows, standard deviation of the cash flows and expected cash flows. Let we come towards the example in our Excel sheet. Say we have riskiness of the project that we have initiated here. We have proposal A, we have proposal B. Let we have different states of the economy, we write here. Deep recession, mild recession, then normal, and then we have minor boom, and we have major boom. Suppose we have probabilities 0.1 for deep recession, for mild recession 0.2, for normal condition we have 0.4, for minor boom we have 0.2, and for major boom 0.1, and the total probabilities are equal to 1. And the cash flows say 3,000, 3,500, 4,000, we have 4,500 and 5,000. And in the same way we have probabilities for the project B, for the proposal B, that are the same probabilities that we have reported in for project A, 0.4, because the state of the economy is the same for both projects, and 0.1, and the cash flows are equal to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 and 6,000. Okay, now computation of expected cash flows and riskiness of a project. The riskiness of a project is computed through a very simple manner, that we create a table. The table columns are cash flows for project A, probabilities. We will compute the expected value of the cash flows. Expected value of the cash flows is equal to let we write here that the expected cash flow is equal to sum of cash flows multiplied probabilities for I values for up to this. This phenomena will be used to compute the average value. So we will multiply cash flows displayed here. Let we model how we will model this question. Let have a little briefing once again we use for your consideration. We will model our problem. Cash flows for project A is equal to, we will address E5 and then we will drag the cash flows, and then probabilities, again we will take it from the address D5 and then we will drag these probabilities up to these values. So the third column is equal to first column multiplied the second column, and the cash flows multiplied probabilities, because we will have to compute the expected cash flows, is equal to 3,000 multiplied probabilities. So we will take these values and we will compute, and the sum of cash flows multiplied probabilities is known as expected cash flow. That's the 4,000. Now we will, in fourth column, cash flows minus expected cash flow. Fourth column is equal to third column minus expected cash flow. जो हमने एवरेज कैश फ्लो कंप्यूट किया है 4000 की वैल्यू, उसमें डिस्पर्शन का एलिमेंट हम देखेंगे. सो 3000 माइनस एवरेज कैश फ्लो, minus expected cash flow. E20 will we will fix with dollar sign because it will not rotate with each value, so we will take these values. And in the fifth column, cash flows minus expected cash flow scale is equal to 1000. Its power is scale value, so we will compute these values for all other values. And the sixth column, we know that the variance is equal to, while we use probability distribution, the variance is equal to sum of probabilities multiplied cash flow minus expected cash flow whole scale. So we will use here the sum of probabilities multiplied cash flow minus expected cash flow scale. So we compute here. Is equal to probabilities multiplied. The addresses of the columns are very clear that what we are going to compute. Here we will make a sum and then automatically we will get the values. That is, now expected cash flows are reporting in this way. Okay, whenever we are computing the question regarding the riskiness of a project, and we use probability distribution against each cash flow, as we have designed the probabilities as per the state of the economy, we will have to draw a histogram between cash flows and the expected probabilities. We will select these values. Expected cash flows and probabilities. We will go into the insert column, then towards the histograms, and then we will use the columns that shows the probability distribution in this way. So probabilities are indicating that it is a normal curve, normal distribution. So we will display here for project A. We have computed the comparison of two proposals using probability distribution of possible cash flows. In first instance, we have drawn the graph for project A. Then we will use the same practice for the project B. So here we have computed the variance of the project A and the expected cash flow of the project A. Now we will compute in the same manner for project B, and we have computed here for project B the average cash flow is 4000 in the same manner, and the expected variance of the project B is 12 lakh. Now we will have to again develop the second curve for probability distribution curve for project B that we have computed here. So both have normal distributions. And now how we will decide that which project has more riskiness? The decision table will indicate, we displayed here project A and project B. The expected cash flow for both projects is 4,000 and 4,000. Variance of the project for project A is 3 lakh and for project B is 12 lakh. Standard deviation, that's equal to square root of the variance, that is 547 and 1095, and coefficient of variation is standard deviation divided by expected cash flows, and 0.13 and 0.27. Project B is riskier. Here we have used the condition, if D3 is greater than E37, project A is riskier, otherwise project B is riskier. So we use this condition, if statement, for computing the decision of this project, and this decision of the project is project B is more riskier. Let we have changed the cash flows. In a deep recession, we say the project A has the greater variability, 1500. It depends upon the range element. Then 3000, then 4500, 5500, and 6500. Now let's see what happens in our decision table. Now project A is more riskier, as we have modeled this question and only we have put the values in Excel sheet. We can use it manually. अगर हमने manually भी ये question करना है तो हमें इसी तरीक़ेकार को फॉलो करना होगा, जो तरीक़ेकार स्टेप्स हमने लिए हैं एक्सेल में टेबल बनाने के, और इसी तरह से हम इस चीज़ को जो है वो डिसाइड कर लेते हैं. एंड नाउ वी हैव डिसाइडेड दैट अगेन if we change the cash flow patterns and if we increase the range from minimum to maximum value of a product cash flows, that creates more riskiness, more variation in the expected cash flows of the product. So thank you so much.